Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into my top 5 favorite cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. When it comes to this type of list, in the past, obviously, I talk about the fastest cars, and maybe I'll break into best handling as well in the future. This top 5 is just my personal favorite looking cars, paired with handling and everything else. I just like driving these cars, and that's why I'm putting them into my top 5 list. And in our 5th place slot, we have this, the Pfister 811. This car does actually have some good things going for it. First of all, it's one of the fastest supercars in the game at a top speed of 35 miles per hour. It's a really, really fast vehicle. It's got stupid good acceleration as well. Although, while it does have really, really good acceleration and top speed, it doesn't have good handling, so you do have to constantly apply the brakes, which doesn't actually give it that good of an overall lap time. But who cares? It's just a super fun car to drive. I like top speed, and I like driving this thing down long stretches of the highway just to see how long I can drive it before I do inevitably fling off the road and die. But it's just a really fun car to drive, and when you add that in with the fact that I think this is an absolutely amazing looking car. I mean, the front of it looks amazing, and I think the back as well, the way that they put that zero gravity spoiler on the back that overhangs and add that with the engine deck, all carbon fiber, I just think that this is an amazing looking vehicle. The profile of it looks fantastic, and it's a Porsche, which looks absolutely fantastic as well, with this almost sunrise pearlescent color I put on it. So the Pfister 811 is definitely one of my favorite looking cars in the game. It also sounds really, really nice with that super high pitched kind of F1 sound you'll find on this car because it does rev so high as it is a Porsche. So yeah, super nice car. I love the way it looks, love the way it drives, and it's definitely in my 5th place spot for cars. This was actually a really hard video to make because I have so many cars I love, and just ranking 5 of them is super hard for me to do. But let's get into our next place spot. And that is this, the Lampadati Osiris. I love the way this car looks. In real life, it's based off the Pantera de Tomaso. My guess onto the actual real-life car's design is it's somewhat based off the Lamborghini Countach. It looks pretty similar to the Countach in some ways, but then it's got some other crazy aspects going for it that just make it look so dang nice. The back of this car, first of all, it's got a huge wang. How can you not like a huge spoiler? I love the way the kind of retro 90s, although this is actually like a 70s car, but I love just the way the backlights are on it. And then look at that engine. The engine is freaking massive. Not only can you see the engine on the back of the car, but if you actually go to the front of the car, as you can see, the engine sticks out into the front of the vehicle. That is crazy. I'm not sure if the car was like that in real life, but it's just something that is so crazy about the vehicle. Another thing I love about this car in GTA is that it actually has a really nice interior, as you can see, like super detailed. Rockstar doesn't normally make really detailed interiors for their cars, but sometimes they will actually do a good job when it comes to the sports classics, and this is just one of those times. By the way, pop-up headlights, I mean, how can you not like the pop-up headlights in GTA? And you add that in with the fact of this engine noise. Let me just turn up it really quick. I mean, that is just one of the nicest sounding engines I've ever heard in GTA. Now, funny enough, you can actually have machine gun attachments on this vehicle. You can see right there in my hood. I don't really know why you can have machine gun attachments. I think they're kind of pointless, but you can. This car, by the way, is also really fast when it comes to the sports classics class. It's also got fantastic handling. Makes it one of the best sports classics vehicles when it comes to racing in general. But again, I didn't buy this car for the handling. I bought it for the fact that it is just such a good car, although my driving is not very good with it. In the number 3 slot, we have this, the Gauntlet Classic Custom. This is a Benny's upgraded version of the Gauntlet Classic, and oh my god, does this car look sexy. In real life, this is based off the Dodge Daytona, which is a literal freaking NASCAR vehicle, and no joke, this car has the fastest time, to at least what I'm aware, ever recorded at a NASCAR track, over 200 miles per hour. And you gotta keep in mind, this is a 70s car. That is actually insane how crazy this vehicle was. A little fun fact about this car in real life is that back in the old days, NASCAR, you actually had to make real cars of your NASCAR vehicle. So let's say I wanted to make a stupid fast vehicle in NASCAR, while I also had to make a bunch of production cars that normal people could buy of it. So there's two different versions of this car. You have the Charger Daytona, which I'm driving right here, that was used in NASCAR, and then you also have the Superbird, which is literally just the normal version of this car that was sold so that basically that this car could race in NASCAR. Pretty fun little fact there. I love this car. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. I think in real life it was like 22 feet long, something absolutely ridiculous. First of all, once again, it's got the pop-up headlights, and these headlights look amazing. It's got a freaking massive wing, and in real life it needed a wing that big because this thing is literally shaped like a boat. It would have flown right into the air, and everybody would have died in the car if it was going over 200 miles per hour. I just think this car looks absolutely amazing. It drives actually surprisingly well. I mean, I am running not the best tires for it, but again, I'm a person that likes the look of a vehicle, so I'm just running tires that match the kind of aesthetic this car would have in real life. And I mean, how can you not like the look of this vehicle? It is such a nice looking car. Put on that orange as well, and it looks amazing. I think the real life car was actually blue that was able to go over 200, but I still think orange looks amazing on this vehicle as well. Plus, it's a muscle car, which means I can do this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, sick wheelies. Alright, well there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my number 3 slot. It's a car that I literally cannot resist but to put in number 3. In the number 2 slot, we have this, the Osiris. It's based off some sort of Pagani. I'd say the Huayra, but there's so many different Paganis out there that honestly, they all look the same to me. Now, this is in the 2nd spot because this was my first supercar ever in GTA, all the way back on Xbox 360. I remember when the update came out with the T20 and as well the Osiris. Before that, there was like the Vaca, and I mean, there were a couple supercars, but nothing crazy. The Zentorno was the rage for so long. And then the Osiris and the T20 came out, and they absolutely changed how racing went. I mean, if you didn't own either of these cars, you were a nobody when it came to racing. Now, personally, I prefer the look of the Osiris. I wasn't into racing at the time, nor did I even care about it. So I just wanted the Osiris because I thought it looked absolutely amazing, which I still do today. I think for a car that Rockstar put into the game so many years ago, actually the same as the T20, this car still looks just as good as some of the newer supers put into the game. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if Rockstar put some more Paganis into GTA. So I love the way the Osiris looks, I love the way that it handles, and I still love that it has a really solid top speed for how old of a vehicle it is in the game. Let me know what you guys think about your favorite cars that were released into the game. But I mean, heck, this car's got so many memories because of me getting it when it was first released in Xbox 360. It's just a vehicle that I will never ever get rid of in my garage right now. I already have it on my Broke to Billions account, which is what I'm driving it in. So yeah, I just absolutely love this vehicle. And finally, we arrive at the number 1 slot, the Italy GTB Custom. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you've probably heard me here or there on live stream talk about this being my favorite car in the game. The main reason, it's looks. This car looks freaking amazing, and nobody can change my mind on that. The front of this car is quite possibly the meanest and sexiest front I've seen Rockstar ever create. It just looks amazing. The side of this car also looks amazing, and then the rear of this car as well. I mean, it's such a nice looking vehicle. The Italy GTB Custom is probably my favorite, just down to the fact of its looks alone. When you add that in with the fact that it's actually got really good handling, it sticks to the grounds like a beast. Like, you can watch me drive around corners, and this thing does not slip or slide at all, which is actually amazing. Now, that does create a bit of a weird driving dynamic, because, oh god, well, I can tell you that bumps affect it there, but it creates a weird driving dynamic because while the car does not slip or slide, it doesn't have the best turning radius, so you do need to apply the brakes every now and then with the vehicle, but still, it drives really well, and it's stupid fast. It goes at a top speed of 127 miles per hour, making it one of the faster supercars. I mean, it's a newer vehicle. It's like 4 years old, so kind of funny when I say newer, but it's a newer vehicle when it comes to the age of supercars in GTA compared to the older supercars, kind of like the Osiris, so it does feature a really good top speed. As well, I love the interior of this vehicle. It has a digital speedometer, which means you can actually keep an eye on how fast you're going, which is something that I definitely really like. I hate the fact that when I'm driving a car in GTA, I don't just have a speedometer that I can actually trust. So it is very nice to actually be able to like read this and say, oh look, I'm going 126 miles per hour right now, 129. That is pretty nice. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my list of my favorite cars in GTA. There are so many more cars that I thought about putting into this list, and honestly, I probably should have done a top 10, but these are my favorite looking cars, and the Italia GTB Custom by a mile comes in first place. It just looks so dang nice. Hopefully, you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it and watch me crash more, consider smashing that subscribe button down below, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!